You're looking at Michael Annett. He is the reason for our 6th caution. Happened during the break as he got it turned around, just nudged the wall. Let's take another look at it, guys.
Got that baby way up high on top of the racetrack. I know Trevor Bayne gets in his left rear quarter panel, just spins them, and Michael does a good job holding on to it.
Yeah, Annett gave him really the whole racetrack right there.
Justin Allgaier did a good job.
Yeah, he did a good job getting by this. You can see, I mean, Annett can't get much higher.
It's about as high as he could. It's just tight racing here at Bristol. It happens. But what amazes me, Annett hits the wall, and it hardly even puts a dent on the car. That's how tough those cars are.
All right, nobody has come in from the front 3 positions. Stay with us. We'll step aside quickly.
Okay.
Just went back to green flag racing. Kyle Busch was on point. The top 7 cars did not pit. Dale Earnhardt Jr. got the wave around. 10 cars, or a lucky dog, I should say. 10 cars on the lead lap.
Yeah, the only unlucky thing about Junior, he has to start at the tail end of the longest line there, so he doesn't get to line up behind the leaders. But he did get 4 tires.
Yeah, he came in for a pit stop after getting the lucky dog. Doc, give us the strategy on that.
They decided to go ahead and come on pit road and take 4 tires and fill it up with fuel. And by the way, just before he came in, Dale Earnhardt Jr. said, "This is the best car on a long run I can ever remember having at Bristol. We put 4 tires on this thing, boys. We can win this race." So watch out for that 5 car. Very, very confident. Dale Earnhardt Jr. now on the bottom of the racetrack.
Yeah, I agree, Doc. I think he has one of the better cars. If he can get another quick caution here where he can line up with the leaders, I believe he has something for him.
Chris Heroy, of course, calling the shots. Biggest thing he's got to watch out is he's on 4 fresh tires. A lot of those guys in front of him are not.
Tell you one thing I've noticed, so you pick up about 3 or 4 tenths on new tires, a lot less than what I'm accustomed to seeing. So Junior's in the back, and it is going to take him a while to get to the front, and I think he's going to have a caution to get back in the game right now.
Yeah, this is the car, though, the Casey Kane is 38 that took 4 tires, and he has track position, drives it around Keselowski on the outside. And Keselowski's car is a little bit wounded.
And that puts Kane up into the 5th position, Vince.
Well, when Kane came in, he had to go back 8th, but remember, he took on those 4 fresh tires. Said the nose has been pushing, but he still doesn't feel like he has enough grip in the right rear, so they addressed that, and their pit stops have been spectacular. The 48 crew, Jimmy Johnson, pitting this team today, and they have been spot on, Marty.
Well, and all those cars, like we said, from 7th back, they're basing some of this on statistics because the last green flag stretch has been 32 laps or less in the last 16 Bristol races in this series. So they get the track position back when everybody else would have to stop.
Well, the leaders don't have to stop. They can make it the rest of the way. I think right now you're just seeing the difference in strategy with, Casey Kane taking these tires. His car was not good enough to win. They made a good call by bringing it in. Now we have a caution.
Hold the brake, hold the brake, hold the brake.
And it's Danica Patrick, the first time this year. She has tagged the wall.
You okay?
She was running in the 17th position, 2 laps down.
It's just one of those things here. One of those things off the corner.
I said if she can get a top 20 finish, that's awful good for her right here. I mean, their first time here, she was looking good, running 17th. That'd have been my goal for her. Give me a good top 20. Let me get out of Bristol clean. And see what happens here, guys.
They just got up into Ryan Truex, and then, oh, man, hammered that wall.
Oh, and they saw the Scott Wimmer, he was trying to avoid it. He got turned around as well.
That was a hard hit.
This just shows you how fast you go at this little racetrack.
Good point. A lot of people think it's a short track. You're not running too fast, but you're getting in those corners close to 140 miles an hour here at Bristol. Still flying around this little racetrack.
Bad news for Danica Patrick. Good news for Carl Edwards. He was in the lucky dog position. That'll put 11 cars back
She's
on
mad,
the lead
man.
lap.
Look at this. She's going to get out on the racetrack. She is like, what is going on, dude?
I didn't see him do anything. I didn't see Truex do anything there.
Well, we mentioned Ryan turned 19 just yesterday.
These two might have been racing awful hard a couple laps before that because it looked to me like Danica actually went up and hit the back of Ryan Truex Jr. And that's what got her loose.
Well, let's go on board with Danica and take a ride as we head to commercial break.
Hold on, sir. Hold on.
NASCAR Nationwide Series at Bristol is brought to you by Nationwide Insurance. Enter this code at codespotter.com for a chance to win one-of-a-kind NASCAR VIP experiences.
Under our 7th caution after Danica Patrick has contact with the wall, and I guarantee you she thinks it's Ryan Truex's fault. I think you have a different opinion.
Well, I just didn't see anything there that Ryan Truex did. Looked like she got into the back of him and then lost the car.
I mean, Lisa,
something maybe earlier.
Yeah, earlier. We kept trying to look for that, and we haven't seen it yet. But take a look at this. Here's Danica right on the bottom of the track. She goes up the track.
Yeah, that was my fault. I guess she thought I meant to do that.
Don't worry, she's never been wrong about anything in her whole life. I wouldn't worry about it.
So that was Ryan Truex's radio.
Yeah, I don't know. On that particular shot right there, it looks like I saw Ryan's car kind of come down a little bit, and hers goes up. So, hey, you know what? You got to give me on this when you're at Bristol. This happens
it's a Bristol.
all the time.
It's kind of a Bristol accident there. Just typical things you see. But you can see right here, she's not happy.
I tell you, we see this in IndyCar racing. She gets mad. When she gets mad, she shows her frustration, and right there, she's letting him know that she is not happy.
And speaking of IndyCar, she'll be making a 100th start next week in St. Petersburg, and we'll have that race over on ABC at 12:30 Eastern Sunday. Just went back to green flag racing again with Kyle Busch out in front. Trouble behind him. The 34 Buscher goes around, and everybody's scrambling.
Back or down, hand up.
So with 44 laps to go, now our 8th caution. And that means, well, Buscher would have gotten the lucky dog, but
a lot of smoke. It looked like everybody was able to drive away.
He was running 12th. He was in the lucky dog spot.
Now, you can't take advantage of that, though, if he brings out the caution.
That's right. Of course, Carl got the lucky dog last time, so that put him back on the lead lap. He is in the 11th position.
It looked like maybe Brian Scott will get the lucky dog this time.
Keep an eye on that 34.
Well, looks like Brian Scott got into him.
And then he almost gets into Stenhouse in the 6th. A great move by the 51 of Jeremy Clements and the 09 of Kenny Wallace to avoid him.
Yeah, Stenhouse is still 2 laps down, struggling trying to get those back.
Okay, 2 cautions ago. It was Danica Patrick hitting the wall hard. Jamie Little's caught up with her.
And her first race at Bristol ends early. But Danica, you showed some emotion there toward Ryan Truex. What do you feel happened?
I mean, to know for sure, I'd have to see the replay a couple times to look. But, I mean, what it felt like to me was that it felt like to me I came out of the corner and I was just running down the straight, and it felt like he came off the wall. And I don't know if he had a tank slap off the wall, like he was pushing up and then it snapped on him and he came off. I don't know. I don't know if I'm maybe giving him the benefit of the doubt right there, but I know I was running him early, and it was just, he just runs hard. You know, he's just runs hard. He ran hard. He's run hard every time I've been around him, and it just seems like overkill. Like, if your car is good, you'll go forward. If your car isn't, you'll go back, and that's just what, you know, that's just a lot of NASCAR. And so, you know, there was still enough racing left that whoever's car was faster was going to get ahead. So I'm just disappointed. You know, I felt like actually this was a pretty decent run at Bristol for the first time, and got caught out a little bit with the tires on that first stop that we stayed out and got up high and got eaten alive. But I don't think it was too bad. So you know, just disappointing to not get the finish. I had such a good run of finishes that it's disappointing to leave for a couple of months with this kind of a thing. But that's Bristol, I guess, you know, and it gets the best of them. Any track, really, you know, you just don't finish the race because something happens, and I'm just pretty disappointed.
All right, Danica Patrick will be back in a NASCAR stock car in June. Until then, next week, she goes back to the IndyCar Series in St. Pete. Marty?
All right, thank you, Jamie. As we can tell you, it's been one of those days for Danica. She had her good moments and some of her bad. There was a little tap that she recovered from Stephen Wallace. And then there was Trevor Bayne when the windshield of his car got soaked and he went on the tires, skidded all the way up to the wall. Damage there, and then this was the last one. And from that angle, guys, it looked like maybe Ryan did come over a little, but was it enough?
Well, he was just trying to save his car a little bit off the corner, and yeah, he did come down a little bit, but you got to be, you got to leave enough room for that to happen when you're racing each other.
And the truth about Bristol is you've got to drive aggressive. She just learned another lesson.
This happened to the best of them, I'll tell you that, so she shouldn't feel bad.
All right, it's Kyle Busch, Kevin Harvick, Elliott Sadler, Dale Earnhardt Jr., and Joey Logano as we go back to green. And keep an eye on 4 more laps because Kyle Busch will set another record that no one has ever come close to. 10,000 laps led.
Man, 10,000 laps. That's unbelievable.
That's just in this series.
He's got clear track right now. And we all know when you get them up front, those cars handle a lot better. That old air gets on that spoiler and on that splitter and makes them handle better. Get back in that traffic, that car's just not near as quick. And he always gets those good restarts. And talk about restarts. Look at Dale Earnhardt Jr. He's got himself back up in there right now in the 3rd position.
He's got fresher tires than the 2 cars in front of him.
Casey Kane in 4th, and then the first championship eligible driver in the Nationwide Series, Elliott Sadler in 5th, Eric Almirola in 6th. Let's get an update on Junior. Doc?
Well, Andy mentioned it, guys. All the guys around Dale Jr. have 65 to 70 laps on their tires. Dale Jr. has just 15 laps on his tires. He said the car is very consistent. He's going to try to work the bottom of the racetrack and try to get around and make a move. He feels like they got a car that can win this race.
And just as you finish up, Doc, lap 265 and Kyle Busch in only his 206th nationwide start. First man ever to lead 10,000 laps. And there he is, and he's still up front, and he's pulling away. There it is, Mark Martin, almost 2,000 behind in 2nd place. Kevin Harvick even farther back in 3rd. Battle for 2nd heating up as 3 cars are in this mix. The 33 of Harvick as we go on board with him. Dale Jr. underneath him. He's got the spot. Can he hold on to it? Oh, little bump on the wall.
Oh, yeah, they did that little contact there. Smoke coming out of his car now.
33 to go. Everybody's tightening the belts. And Casey Kane is the one that ends up being the big winner in the mix. He says, see you, boys. Let's get an update on that 33. Dave Burns.
Well, Kevin Harvick's car is still tight. Been talking about it all day, but he's racing for everything he's worth there at the end to try to get his 6th win here at Bristol. His teammate Elliott Sadler, wasn't he 2nd just a couple of restarts ago? It's that inside line on the restart. He actually got jumped by the 33 and has not recovered that track position since.
Sadler right now shown in the 5th spot.
That's been the thing that's killed Elliott Sadler is having to start on the inside. His car won't go down there. He needs that outside lane, and it's really killed him, especially with these cars with better tires able to start up there too.